how would a designer, if I'm looking for a business coach, are there any best ways to go and start that search? Because I go on Google and I type in interior design business coach. I'm going to come up with a list, and then how do I filter that list down? How do I find my person?
I think we're lucky living in the age and world we're living in now that there are podcasts. And I think a great way to figure out who the coach is for you is to listen. If they have a podcast, go listen. If they don't have a podcast, see if they've got video on YouTube. Just see if you think that they're going to get you. I think Googling is awesome, but I think that voice and hearing them is even more important than any written word that you can see.
Mm-hmm. Referrals?
Referrals are great. Referrals are great. I think I love referrals. Ask other business owners. And I don't think you have to ask other interior designers. You can ask any business owner, because if they're a good coach, they should be able, if they're willing to coach in any industry, then they should be okay coaching you. If you want someone specific to interior design, first of all, I would ask yourself, why? Like, what do you think you're going to gain from that? It could be the right thing. It might not be. And what would kind of be curious, like, what if I worked with someone that didn't live around the corner from me, that wasn't an interior designer? What might that be like? So be more curious about it than fearful.
Fair enough. So I'm still doing this search for a business coach.
Okay.
Are there any things that I should look for? Any red flags? Like, this isn't going to work for me. Whether it's just the interpersonal or things they're saying, trying to push me in a direction, possibly. Any things I should be aware of, negative?
Yeah, I think. I think you need to have some sort of interpersonal connection. I think that's important, right? And we can probably all figure that out pretty quickly. I think second, they should have a recommendation for what they think is best for you, right? So, I just did a consult call with an interior designer right before we got on this. And, I work with people in a number of different ways, but in the end of the call, I was like, listen, I work with the people in a number of different ways, but here's what I think is best for you. And here's why. And this is what I want to offer you. If they say, you've got 62 different options, a confused person never buys. So I think you should look to see if they have a recommendation for what they think you need. And it shouldn't be a pushy thing. It should just be coming more from a confidence standpoint.
Okay.
And I think sometimes people get into the whole, well, let's say the coaching calls are Tuesdays at 4 and Tuesdays at 4 are horrible for you. You kind of have to ask yourself, does that matter? Do I have to be live on the call? What if this is the right person and that's the only roadblock? Like, you've got to be determined as the client that you're going to get exactly what you need, right, regardless of any roadblocks. Because we don't even know what the roadblocks are going to be in the future.